In this video, we'll be reviewing a AEROPRO Palm Nailer. Today we'll be reviewing the AEROPRO Palm Nailer, model number CPN90. According to the specs here, it weighs 0.4 kilograms, which is 0.88 pounds. Has a max working pressure of 70 to 100 psi. As far as size, it is 113 millimeters by 67 by 112, and I'll put the conversion on the screen somewhere through here. So we'll go ahead and get this open. So we have a user's manual. Actually comes with a exploded view, which might, I guess, come in handy. We have a small bottle of air tool oil with a Allen key and the nailer itself. I'll get it out eventually. All right, first impressions. I do like the way it looks. I guess it's a bit of a non-point to say it looks industrial, but it just really does. I really like this black finish that it has on here. It looks very much like this thing was designed and built by Glock or Ruger or something like that. I mean, it looks more like the finish that you would see on a firearm. The back here has kind of a textured soft rubber attached that it does actually feel really good in your hands. It has a attached cap for the air inlet, which is always nice to be able to keep that from getting debris in there, and it's attached to the unit itself, so you're not going to lose it immediately like I would. So first impressions, this looks pretty good and feels pretty good. So the only thing really left to do is to get it hooked up to the air compressor and drive some nails and try it out. The first step to using this is just to place the nail on the end where it has a magnet there to hold it, but you want to give it just a little extra push so it goes all the way in, because if you just initially touch it in there, your nail is not going to be straight and it's just going to flop around. But if you push it till it clicks, it'll hold it straight. And then you just position the nail over your wood and then just push down with a smooth, even pressure. Now, I will say, if this is the first time you've ever used one of these things, the vibration and things like that you get might be a little unsettling at first. If you don't really expect it, it might come as a bit of a surprise. And as you can see there, I didn't go all the way down, but it's easily fixed just by giving another few pushes. And you can even countersink with it. So when something like this would really come in handy, I don't know if you've ever tried to swing a hammer to nail something in upside down. It's not exactly very fun trying to hammer up into something over your head. With this, you could easily just turn it upside down and easily drive a nail in over your head. Or if you're in a situation that you have a really tight spot to where you have a piece of wood here and some sort of obstruction on the other side, and you don't have enough room to actually squeeze a hammer, so long as you can fit this with the nail sticking out of it in between the two parts, you would have no trouble nailing in between, even though you're in a really constricted space. Once again, put it in till it touches, it'll hold, but then give it another push till it clicks. And if I stopped just shy like this, the nail is sitting just a little proud of the wood, but you can still position this over that and get it countersunk. So as you can see, this palm nailer works as advertised. And if you're thinking, you know, who is this for? Who would benefit from having this? And honestly, anybody that's any sort of builder or does DIY projects, it would be kind of silly not to have one of these because they are pretty inexpensive, but when you need it, you need it. A good example would be, say, if you needed to drive a nail into the side of a 2x4 and it was in a wall that was, you know, 16-inch on center spacing, as opposed to trying to swing a hammer in between these two studs, you can just use this and get the job done. Or in tight spaces that you don't have a lot of room to work, like say with floor joists and things like that, this thing would be incredibly handy to have. From what I can tell, from what I've been using of it, it is lightweight. It doesn't weigh a lot at all, yet it still feels pretty robust. It's substantial, and you know, it doesn't feel cheap. It doesn't feel like it's going to break, you know, just after a few uses because it's, you know, cheaply made or cheap materials or anything like that. It actually seems to be well built. There's not a whole lot to them to go wrong, so that's actually a good thing too. I mean, are you going to frame an entire house with one of these? Absolutely not. You'd be better off, you know, just using a good old-fashioned hammer if, you know, that was your intent. But for the times that you need it and you need to get into a small area to get something done, you can't really beat it, because there's areas that you might not even be able to fit an actual screwdriver to drive a screw in. But this is so compact, you can see the length of it there in my hand, and when you stick the nail in it, you know, that's adding some more length to the end, but you can still fit in some really tight areas. I will be leaving a link to purchase this off of Amazon from the seller if you'd like to pick one of these up. As I said, I do recommend it. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe, give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.